Good morning, everyone. I am Franklin, and today we are going to be watching the last chance qualifier for the round of 16. Today we are being tracked by Fellison and our restreamer Mecklin. We have some interesting blursings here. We have a forced black belt and fighter. The black belt has plus 20 HP, which makes it slightly less useless at the beginning, easier to keep it alive and funnel it some XP. The fighter, on the other hand, has plus 25 agility, which is a huge bonus for being at the front of the party and tanking a bunch of hits and avoiding first strikes. The thief has heal magic. The red mage has resist all. The white mage has learn lamp to resist all, and the black mage has buff magic. Mages all have really great stuff. Buff magic is especially useful in this flag set because of how important fast is. Whether you be taking the fighter or the black belts, fast is something that you want, and the black mage guarantees that you will get it right away. And everyone knows how great it is to have a free ribbon.
Yeah, those free ribbons starting off were pretty fantastic, I think. I'm gonna go ahead and get us started here. Hopefully this syncs up just fine.
Okay, and now we will be getting started. It's like most of our runners have taken the black mage to start with, but I think I saw Rubes taking the red mage to start with.
Immediately we're seeing Cure 3 and Exit out of the white, and Bane and Lock 2 and Temper out of black magic. Hopefully we only have one game's audio going through the feed. I think that's what it looks like on my end. Apologize in advance if that's not the case. Look like silver bracelets in the shop.
Yeah, early spells are interesting. They're not that bad, but there aren't any sweepers.
Silver plus
Unless you
4s and
count
gold
paint.
plus 3s in Canaria shop. Those will be nice to come back for.
Chanagan, Mecklin, and Fryteeth, and Rubes all taking the white mage in Canario right away, which isn't a big surprise.
Yeah, as you were saying, the free ribbon basically with learning a spell is pretty hard to pass up. Did look like Rubes took the red mage, and the rest of us have taken the black mage. Having that guaranteed buff magic, rather nice.
Getting the crown from the king and the slab from the princess. The crown can be turned in right away because of our extended open progression. In addition to that, we have River to Melmond on, and Northern Docks, Cardia Docks, and Lefine River Dock.
All the docks. Alright, chaining in first one into Provoca. Gonna give us a look at magic over here. Level 2 white magic is Heal 3 A-Rub. Ruse is also a nice pickup for that white mage, especially early on. Won't have to rely on putting a defense or ruse stick on it. And then black magic, we're getting Quad X and Warp, so the only sweeper so far we've gotten is a Bane, which it's doable. I mean,
It's
early
good enough for pirates, at least.
Yeah, early enemies don't have too much high MDef, so Bane should work pretty well against most of these early encounters.
It appears that Fryteeth has downed the fighter. We'll see if the fighter gets revived, but I think that is going to be staying down for the rest of the run.
Yeah, selling that opal armor right away for some cash.
Our runner's all getting the herb from Bicky. So the randomizer is telling us to go around to the other side of the continent to turn in our 2 items. And Mecklin, do you want to tell us why you have a dragon walking around on the overworld?
The dragon's the black belt. These are monster sprites. I cannot for the life of me remember who created them. I grabbed them from the wiki page. But yeah, alternate sprites are a cool feature of the randomizer. There's a lot of sprite sheets that are already made up, and there is documentation on how you can create your own sprites. So, but yeah, I really love the black belt being the dragon. It's just a recolored Bahamut and the dragons from Cardia. So,
I just saw Fryteeth make an interesting play. He saved on his way around passing Caneria, but then went to Caneria to check the shop, but then reset out to where he was so he didn't lose much time in checking. And can now rest assured that the shop item was not there.
Yeah, that's one thing that I've been trying to focus on doing my first trip through Caneria is check the shop, check the tavern, and then move along to Magic, just so that I know if the shop item is available, how much it's going to end up costing me, what it's going to be, and then also a quick peek at the tavern to see what kind of recruitable characters we have. If I want to do a hard reset and start with a different party in the 4th slot, or just go with what we've got.
Panigan and Fryteeth both erasing Astos with Quad X and getting the canal. Not useful right away, but it means as soon as we get that ship, the world is going to open up quite a bit because of all the map edits. Meanwhile, the Elf Prince has the TNT.
And level 3
That's
black
nice.
magic, sleep, slow, hold, blind, nothing we want. White magic, invis, and wall, possibly. The only thing that we're going to want there. And then white magic, we finally get our first look at sweepers, harm 3 and harm 2. So we're definitely going to pick up that harm 3 spell. And there is ice 3 and brack from black magic level 4. Level 4 magic, our first real damaging sweepers. That is going to make taking down early enemies a bit rough.
Yeah, this is going to be a strong melee seed. Fryteeth is keeping the fighter knocked down, going full in on the black belt. Seeing all of these turn-in items right away can be a little bit frustrating because you're not getting any progression, but it is nice to see a bunch of proximity items instead of ones that send you all the way across the map over and over and know that you won't need to get those items later.
Yeah, I do love a good fetch chain. Early is probably better since you're already in the inner sea, but also when you have the airship, it can make it a lot faster. Chanigan pulling the key off of the TNT turn-in. Very nice.
Perfect timing.
Yeah, we'll be able to check out the Dwarven Armory real quick. See 2 marked boxes at least. Haven't seen the far right side, but
it's really great seeing key early in this because there is no thief for lockpicking. And you don't want to be going around last minute trying to find shards in all the different locked rooms. You want to be able to get those early, especially for the XP scaling in the black belt.
Quad X coming in clutch for Chanigan, heavily relying upon that to take down these enemy packs here. Getting our first shard.
Yeah, Quad X is great. It's like a replacement melee spell.
Yeah, power word, HP of 300 or less will cause an insta-kill for enemies that do not resist death, which isn't a lot, aside from the undead enemies and a handful of other random various. Alright, so Fryteeth and Rubes both inside of Canary Castle. Gonna get that key item after taking down these asps, cobras, and it's our canoe.
So we don't get to use the canal with the ship right away. We're going to be heading over to the volcano and Crescent's Lake. This also opens up the river to Melmond, so we might be seeing a ruby or a rod, which would probably be the worst case scenario in terms of how much you need to go. But if you are good at encounter manipulation on the overworld, that's probably actually what you want, because you know that your opponents are going to have to walk the same distance.
Yeah, absolutely. And question in chat, does only the first place finish advance? No. So the way that the last chance qualifiers worked is the losers out of the bracket for round of 64, which wasn't a whole lot, got to compete, and it would have been the top 16 advancing, but because there was only a handful of people that competed, they all moved on to the round of 32 last chance. For round of 32 last chance, the top 8 advanced to the next round, as well as anybody who lost in the round of 32. And then the same for round of 16, anybody who lost in the round of 16, plus the top 4 from round of 32 last chance. Is that right? Top 8 from round of 32. Yeah, top 8 from round of 32, plus the 8 who lost out in the round of 16 brackets compete in the round of 16. Round of 16 has the top 4 finishers advance to the round of 8 last chance qualifier, which will be the last round of last chance qualifying, which also includes the people who lost in the round of 8, as well the top 4 from this here. So these 4 runners that you see on screen have advanced.
Yeah, Fryteeth leading the way and checking the volcano armory floor, but wiped to gargoyles and I think a trap chest. Being joined by Rubes and getting a high five along the way as Rubes goes in to check the armory. Meanwhile, Chanigan is pulling up to the volcano. And with our lack of sweepers, Ice 3, I think it was, or was it Ice 2?
Ice 3 and Harm 3, as well as Bane, will be our only sweepers.
Bane is a pretty bad sweeper in here. At least Ice 3 is pretty good, but there's so many junk fights that you want to be able to cast a sweeper on, but you have to be able to conserve those. Fortunately, I see in Fryteeth's side, there is a light axe, and all of our runners have taken a white mage, so they will be able to use the improved harm and unlimited harm 2.
Yeah, that light axe is going to help out a lot, considering the level 4 sweepers will only get our charges starting at level 10, which I think most of our runners have reached that point by now, but that will only give them 1 charge. No, it looks like we're still under level 10. And yeah, our tracker Felson pointing out in chat that all the elementals resist all the insta kills with the exception of Zap, and Zap has a low accuracy chance due to how it works as a spell, but it can still put out some pretty decent damage for a lot of the early enemies that don't have a high MDef.
Yeah, Quad X has been putting in quite a lot of work, being the instant death spell that works completely different from the others. Already talked about with the power word HP spot.
Yeah, it should take out most of the enemies that we'll see through here. Probably the ones of note that it may not work against is the red dragons may have enough HP to resist the initial Quad X without some damage, and then obviously the fire elementals will resist the Quad X spell as well.
Yeah, right now Quad X is the melee until our melee characters get enough gear and levels.
Bane taking out 3 of the 4 ogres on Shanigan's side, which will be nice because then we can just Quad X the final one down.
Yeah, Bane isn't a great sweeper because it doesn't hit everything, but if you have a decent melee power or Quad X, you can get about half of them, assuming they aren't resistant to Bane or have high MDef.
Yeah, for sure.
And then you can do cleanup.
And then
which is what we saw with Pirates.
So Shanigan pulled the ruby out of that chest with the giants, decided to loot another chest and get a giant +5, which is better than the scimitar +3 that he was wielding. And then immediately deciding to exit out and move along. We don't want any more part of Volcano for the moment. Leaving the 2 shards on carry behind. Potentially we'll see a return to that if we need the shards later on, as it's only about a minute or so dive back down, especially with a decent encounter table.
And Mechlin has made it to the volcano, and I did see some good encounter manipulation with burning off the first couple encounters off the hard reset and getting your Euro run. And I think I saw a nuke at level 6, which isn't what you want to see, but we already knew it wasn't in levels 1 through 4, and it's good that it's not 7 or 8. Fast was not there, though. And we're getting the Oxyale from Crescent Lake, which means that the only progression left is going across the map, using the river to Melmond, and turning in the ruby and talking to Sarda.
Yeah, I also saw Cure 4 at level 6 magic as well, which is a spell that we're definitely going to want. Being at level 6 kind of sucks. Not going to have free liberal use of that spell. Going to have to really conserve how much we decide to throw that out. Probably only would be seen used in battle or in dire situations to get out of a dungeon. Although we do have exit, so that is not too much of a concern.
A question, Chad, does the Blur Seeing resist for the White Mage stack with the Ribbon magic defense?
So it essentially is just a free ribbon on that party member. It doesn't actually give MDef, it just gives resistance to those spells. Or those
and elemental resistance doesn't stack.
So yeah, having that the blessing on the red mage, resist all, and the resist all after learning lamp on the white mage means we don't have to necessarily hunt down a ribbon. We just have it if we can find that spell. Which we have not seen just yet. Chanigan did not give us a peek at level 5 magic yet. And we still have level 7 and level 8 magic too. hunt
I think
down
the
as
way the
well.
blessings work, if it's learn lamp to plus res all, it means it's guaranteed to be learnable without promotion.
That's a Roost
And
Stick and Dragon Armor being pulled from the Titan's Trove.
on Mecklin's side, on Mecklin's VOD, I want to point out the mealworm with the amazing new Team Steak skins. Looking great.
I love the sandwich skin that Barber
The
has
sandwich one's
created.
the best.
That's probably my favorite one out of all of them so far, is the sandwiches. It looks so good. Happy to be able to showcase that off.
I'm considering switching from all to just the sandwiches when tournament safe ROM is on so that I always get the sandwiches instead of a random one.
I have it set to random still, so it's like a surprise, whichever one shows up in the tournament safe. But yeah, the sandwich being the sandwiches was really nice. Okay, so Rod being pulled from Sarda, Cal Vanilla. So that is going to send us down
into
into Earth
Bottle
Cave.
from the Titan's Trove.
Yes.
That means it's time to dive Earth.
Yeah, our Earth incentive is going to be post-Rod, so it's going to be down on the 4th floor. There's a few chests along the way that we could maybe check for shards or maybe some additional gear. The Giant +5 is going to be okay for now. I think we would definitely want some better weapon for the fighter. X-Cal is incentivized, but we will require the tail to use that with the promotion. So hoping to find a Masa or maybe a strong ice or fire sword. But for now, we're going to be swinging that Giant +5.
Yeah, Rube's translating along with a couple other runners, I think, while you are close to Melmond, so that you don't need to come back later. And Chanigan pointing out the door or I pointed out the door glitch. Chanigan did pull out the door glitch, and it's great to see. It's really fun.
Yeah, door glitch is always cool. Rubes did show us our first look at level 5 magic. Harm 4 and Lamp, and then Lit 3 and Fire 3, as well as Lock and Quake. So, finding that Lamp early on, we can just go ahead and learn that. We don't even need the spell charges. Immediately being able to have that free ribbon on that White Mage, if we have the money to purchase it. Definitely going to help out a lot.
I'm noticing Chanigan tempering the black belt to take out the vampire, I think. Or no, it was tempering the fighter. Wait, did I say to take out the black belt? I meant to say to take out the vampire.
Yeah, really having to get creative with how we're taking down these enemies early on.
Even with how weak the vampire normally is, the scaling is rather high, and we do not have the tools to deal with it right now. I mean, we do, but not easily, like it normally is.
There is a Flame Plus 4 being pulled out of Earth, which is going to be a decent upgrade, especially in Earth. Flame is going to deal a decent bit of damage to Lich if we decide to head on down there.
Yeah, Chanigan warping out of the first room to save on steps. And now checking Lich's closet, finding a gold +3, which is really nice. And
Yeah,
then the key item box.
Yeah, free gold +3 is always nice to find. Looks like Fryteeth is also making his way down to the vampire. Gonna punch that vampire out. Rube's not far behind. And at this point, I am still struggling with what to even do with this seed. And the ship.
And there is the ship.
There we go. That's our progression.
Yeah, I don't think it could have been much else. Except maybe a crystal into a ship.
Yeah, crystal adamant,
adamant.
possibly, but other than that, we're going to be finding that ship soon.
And if the seed continues to go the way it has been going, then the floater will also be a last location, because we can actually go quite a ways without the floater here.
Yeah, Northern Dock's giving us access to Onrak, Waterfall, and Sky Palace, as well as the River Dock giving us access to Lefane. So we do have that slab that we could potentially turn in. Also having the key in the Oxiel kind of points us towards Onrak. Having the Waterfall robot turn or key item, and then the key item down on the Mermaid's floor.
Hannigan buffing up the fighter with a fast anti-wall to take down Lich. Which it looks like it's going pretty well, so that was the right move instead of going out. Yeah, Hannigan pointing out that he was quite safe in making this play. And the Flame Sword does work.
Yeah, having that type advantage with the Flame Sword against Lich and using that fast on it to get as many hits as possible out of it. Really smart play there, getting rid of Lich very fast. Lich, while normally a speed bump, can be incredibly dangerous early on with these seeds. Having access to Ice 2 as a starter, and Ice 2 does quite a bit of damage from Lich 1. You be surprised, but being able to get out of there rather fast and getting those free 2 shards. Having to walk all the way back to Canaria to get the ship.
Yeah, I really like that the randomizer has an option to increase the elemental bonus to being not only relevant, but also a game changer.
Yeah, I believe the vanilla game was like an additional 4 damage, which, yeah, that's nice, but like, I feel like typing advantage should probably be a bit more of a bonus. So it's pretty standardized at 30 for most flags in the randomizer, but for this tournament, it is cranked up to 42 damage per hit, so that is a considerable amount of additional damage for type advantage.
I think the game has a similar thing with regenerative enemies only regenerating about 4 or 5 HP per turn.
Yeah, and there is a new flag for that as well to increase that. I don't remember off the top of my head how much it increases it, but I do remember that there is a increase. So like enemies like Warmech who have regenerative can actually make it a little bit more difficult to take down.
It's good that we don't have that on, though, because Chaos is bad enough as it is. And Chaos is regenerative.
Oh, Chaos is regenerative as well. Interesting.
Seeing a double Poison Smoke with a Bane taking out 2 Sandworms on Hannigan's side. Meanwhile, Fryteeth is taking on Ordeals, has just made it through the maze.
Yeah,
Rubes is taking on Lich, and Mechlin is about to dive into Earth Cave.
Yeah, we're seeing some divergence from our runners here. Hannigan opting to turn in that slab, pulling the crystal out of that. More fetch chain, but also going to be able to check the rest of our magics here aside from Gaia magic. So we can see Fade at level 7, Life 2 at level 8. Gonna be picking up, looks like we picked up Nuke there. Confuse and Rub, and Fast landing at level 8. Womp, womp. The Black Mage coming with Fast to start, and being able to learn it on that slot feels bad.
Power Bonk was found by Fryteeth inside of Ordeals, which does feel like a bit of a womp womp, at least right now, but in the end game, it does make a big difference. And our crystal turns into a defense +4 sword.
Look at that. Black shirt and a mage stick just hanging out in Matoya's. That would have been a nice pickup early on for all of our runners.
It really would have been. Sometimes you just have to check Matoya early for those free chests.
She never has anything but softs and pures, though.
Yeah, never anything except the vanilla stuff.
Yep.
I think vanilla's like heal, pure.
I think so. Just got a glimpse of the adamant purchase on Fryteeth's side at OnRack. So that is our shop item. Going to give us another turn in. And heading
Meanwhile,
into
Fryteeth is diving Volcano. And Rubes is going through Ordeals. And Chanigan also just entering Ordeals.
Opting to check the trap tile here in the first floor of Ordeals, or second floor of Ordeals, the middle floor with all the teleporters. There is a trap tile in front of that box, and that box is also linked to the top floor on the bottom left that you see there on Rubes' side, that bottom left chest there, that had the Bane Sword in it, which is a nice find as well. Free Bane cast is always welcome.
Fryteeth picking up a vanilla cube from the robot in Waterfall, and can now go into Sky because we do have a dock there, and Chime Shuffle is on, so it is unlikely to be on Mirage Tower.
And that was a Thor Hammer being pulled out of Waterfall as well. Also another sweeper item, another nice find. I did miss what was pulled off of the robot, though. Did you catch that?
It was the cube.
The what?
The cube.
Oh, the cube. Oh, vanilla. More vanilla items.
Yeah, so after picking up the cube, you could go straight to Sky. But of course, Fryteeth is going to make the proximity play and go to C first.
Yeah, that makes sense. You're already here, you might as well just go down, at least get the key item, maybe pick up a few shards to start boosting that experience a little bit more. We are able to funnel more experience onto that black belt on Fryteeth's side, having that fighter down. Definitely going to help push that black belt up to a point where we have our first break point for hits to make the grind a little bit easier to start off with.
Yeah, Rubes went and checked the caravan and was disappointed to not see the shop item there, but has just found and bought it in OnRack. And meanwhile, Mechlin has picked up the ship and is now about to fight Lich.
Yeah, having a bit of a struggle going through Earth Cave. I can't remember exactly what it was, but something nasty took me out and had forced me to redive. But
Masamune found in Mermaids by Fryteeth, which he puts on the black belt for now. I do forget at what level the black belt needs to be before it is better to take the Masa off.
I believe it's somewhere
And
around level 25-ish when it starts falling off. I'm sure someone in chat can better explain that for us, but I believe it's somewhere around the mid-20s where the raw damage that the black belt can do with its hits and innate strength can overpower what the Moss Moon can possibly do for us. So
Bright Teeth down to just mages, trying to use the Quad X, and it works. Quad X is the MVP of this spell list. And there is the floater in the Bubbles room.
that's what we want to see. We want to be able to get in the air. We don't want to have to deal with any more overworld encounters. So Rubes is heading down there. We'll find that floater here very shortly. Opal +3 and a Zeus Bonk, also rather nice pickups. Zeus Bonk also doing light lit 2 damage. And that Opal +3 best in slot for our white mage. So it's also interesting to note that out of our 4 runners on screen, Chanigan, the only one that has decided to keep up both the black belt and the fighter, possibly leaning, still trying to decide which direction we want to go with it, but also potentially leaning into bonus damage with the black belt. It gets to 6 hits at level 21, which can deal a decent amount of damage. Against the fiends, it won't be incredible damage, but it's still going to be some nice chip damage. Plus, also potentially used as a meat shield and a utility for throwing out free cast of Invis 2 if we find the white shirt, or literally just as a meat shield, soaking up damage for that fighter. So let's see which way we go with that.
Yeah, Mechlin and Rubes both going the fighter route. Bright Teeth going the black belt route. And Chanigan undecided, possibly going with both.
Wizard Stick is also another nice find down there in the waterfall, or in the Sea Shrine. Wizard Stick casting Confuse, which Carry is susceptible to. So that's nice find. It's also really nice for early money if we find it early on, but finding it this late, probably not going to get much use out of it. By the time we go back for Carry, probably going to just have the raw damage to just take Carry out without having to worry about dealing with confusion. But it's still nice to have early on, and for just in case kind of thing, if we don't have the raw damage to take down Carry later. Also,
Bright Teeth is looking for an overworld grind in the desert quadrants. And so far it's just been Ankylos. And while he's there, he's checking the shop, getting a bunch of cabins, and is probably going to turn in the bottle.
Yep, we're stocking up on camping supplies and healing potions before we decide to take on what grind we can find. And picking up the loot off the bottle turn-in, which is a required item. So now we are in Shards and Go.
I saw the white shirt down that down in Sea Shrine that Chanigan picked up.
Yeah,
which is
that's a
good to
nice
see.
find. Free cast of Viz 2 is always nice. Also, a very nice piece of equipment for the White Mage. Should we promote?
Yeah, also really nice to see right before Kraken. Yeah, our runners are still making great use of all of our sweeper items because of the lack of sweeper spells. Whether it be the Thor Hammer, the Zeus Bonk, or the Light Axe.
Yeah,
Or
they're
the Black
definitely
Shirt.
coming in clutch. So Rube's pulling up onto Kraken. Gonna go ahead and try our best. We do have a Bane Sword. I saw a Coral Sword, but we were opting to stick with the Masa. Coral Sword would have a type advantage against Kraken and be able to deal some additional damage, but the Masa, with its raw power, probably still beats out a Coral +1.
Yeah, I think it's a Masa +3 too, which doesn't do that much because the hit percent is already maxed out, but the other two stats are still increased, I believe.
Throwing out a cheeky Brack and getting the insta-kill on Kraken for Rubes. Another 4 shards in the pocket. And now Rubes also into the air.
And meanwhile, Fryteeth is using the newfound floater to go and loot the Cardia Isles. And is getting quite a bit of XP here. Chanigan is taking on Kraken, and the Black Belt got taken out. So we're getting multiple ruses. And the one character that doesn't get ruse gets one shot. Goodbye, Black Mage.
Yeah, Kraken does Kraken things.
Although Kraken did just miss on the fighter, so the ruse stick or the defense sword does help.
Yeah, Ruse casting 2 stacks of Invis, which 3 casts of Ruse will put you at full evasion. Very nice, especially against Kraken, who hits hard and fast. But also being able to pull through. Looks like Chanigan has the Coral Sword equipped, so getting the type damage against plus the fast and a few tempers. Definitely helping. Oh, that's a ribbon down there in the 3 chest room where the normal incentive location is in the mermaid floor. Being able to put that on our other caster for some additional resistance is very helpful, considering the Black Mage has very low HP pool and will take a lot of damage from spells. I don't know that any of our other runners picked that up. There were no marked boxes in that room, so going all the way there for no shards, probably not going to see a lot of runners do that. So that is a nice find for Becklin.
I'm realizing I don't know how many people's white mages have the lamp that was at level 5 for the free ribbon. I forgot to pay attention to that.
Yeah, I'm not sure. I know we did find lamp at level 5. I'm pretty sure Rubes purchased it. And I'm pretty sure that I purchased it by this point. since it was learnable and I had the cash for it, I don't know that Fryteeth or Chainigan walked into either of those shops, so...
Yeah, Adamant turns into Chime, so we're unlikely to see a Chime bonk this seed. And Mechlin finding the X-Cal inside of Cardia, which goes well with your strategy of downing the black belt and taking just the fighter.
Yeah, it feels bad seeing the X-Cal roll neutral, but it is what it is. It's still going to have the hurt all property that it comes with, so it's still going to deal some ridiculous bonus damage to most every enemy in the game, aside from like Chaos and a very select few other enemies in the game that do not have types, which is only like 2 or 3 other enemies, something like that. But Fryteeth, climbing into Sky now. That's going to be our first look inside of Sky Palace. So we found a Power Bonk, we found a Defense Sword, we found the X-Cal. It looks like we have every key item except for the tail, so if I had to guess, this is where we are going to see that tail.
I think so too. I don't see anything else it can be.
I think that's where we're left at this point.
Have we found any good tiles to grind on?
I haven't seen anything from any of the runners yet.
I don't think so.
Fryteeth did check a couple of the quadrants in the desert, so it's possible that he managed to find something there worth grinding.
Yeah, Brooms just did a little check next to the Mirage Tower, and it was 2 Anklos in the first 2 encounters.
Okay.
It's just all Anklos and red Anklos.
Chat calling out Fighters and Ordeals, and also the Big Eye Gershark tile and Volcano, which could also be a decent tile to grind on. Big Eye and Gershark are probably one of the top levels for experience grind. And the Fighter 2 Fighter tile is also pretty decent and rather quick. So let's see where we're deciding to pick that grind at.
Yeah, Fryteeth opting to go and search through Spider Floor before going on.
Yeah, taking a quick peek inside the rooms, looking for marked boxes. We are just looking for shards at this point on Fryteeth's side. We do want to have full shards before we make an attempt at a black belt grind. It's going to make it go so much faster.
Yeah, the tail is not the huge priority for Fryteeth. Oh wait, the Fryteeth already has a tail.
Yeah, Fryteeth already picked it up. But finding a ribbon in Cece's Gambit, that I think is the first ribbon for Fryteeth. Yes, that is the first ribbon for Fryteeth.
Chanigan now also checking the desert quadrants. And also about to dive Sky, I think. I think everyone has finally converged in Sky, and yeah, everyone's converged in Sky now. After a lot of divergence throughout the rest of the route.
Yeah, having Northern Docks and the Bahamut River and River to Lefane Dock on can really help with divergence early on, but more than likely, most of our runners are going to end up inside of Sky Palace at some point, having the most chest dense location, and also Tiamat holding 4 shards at the top.
Yeah, those 4 shards become more and more crucial as the rounds go on, and you need to get more shards.
Yeah, I think we are still at 28 required for this round. This is the round of 16 last chance, but it is using the round of 8 flags, which we are seeing in the current live races that we are watching being run.
Bellison in chat saying that we should keep an eye on Mecklen's green when getting to Sky 4 because you apparently have the best route going through it. What was your route again?
Oh, no doubt about it. You'll have to watch and see. It's the only way to go, I'm telling you. No, incorrect, Pickles.
And I don't think it was a staircase either.
Okay, so I've not been out there. We got a glimpse. Chanigan has about 18 shards. Mecklin has about 20. And then
Teeth is trying to take down Tiamat. Although it's looking a little precarious. Black Belt is doing a lot of damage with the Masamune, though. And there goes Tiamat.
There it is. The correct path through Sky 4, right, down, right.
And Teeth found a T-Rex with Thunder.
Well, that's going to make danning the party very easily. That's also going to make for a bit of a scary grind.
The great thing with an overworld grind, though, is that you keep saving, so it's not actually that scary. Although I think that was in a very late encounter. All of the early encounters are bad. So I think Teeth is heading down to Volcano to do a grind there.
Yeah, probably hoping that the Gershart Big Eye tile that was seen earlier is a better grind spot.
Mecklin attempting to brack the Tiamat, and it has not worked yet. And it's also now switching to a damage strategy with the nuke and harm. And Rubes, Homie on the Bridge of Destiny, also about to take on Tiamat.
Yeah, this Tiamat fight was a bit sketchy on my
Rubes
part.
using a Bane Sword and a Brack on Tiamat, both miss.
Yeah, it's worth noting that Tiamat is weak to poison damage, which includes Bane and Brack. So throwing out Banes and Bracks on Tia is a very smart strategy. At least while you're getting
the HP has been scaled so high that insta-death becomes more and more viable. Mecklin going down to Bahamut to promote.
There we go.
Bane I think Sword. I saw Bane Sword.
Yep, Bane Sword activated, taking out Tiamat. Looks like we are getting close to max shards on Rubes' side. I barely caught a glimpse, and it looked like we had almost 4 full rows.
On Mechlin's side, only needing 4 shards now.
Remembering that
Brightheath about to set up a grind. Or no, just getting the last couple shards that he skipped earlier. And Rube's also promoting.
Yeah, no, Kraken is not weak to poison. However, it does not resist poison damage either, which makes it so that you can bracket the Kraken as well. But having low MDef really makes it a lot easier than, say, trying to brack a carry or brack a Lich. Well, I don't think Lich... I think because Lich is undead, brack does not work because it's poison damage. And poison damage does not work against the undead.
And
How are you going to poison a zombie?
Even Zaps have a 10% chance on Kraken, which is something that I've wanted to use in a run for a while now, but haven't gotten a great opportunity. But that strategy is there. Put it in your back pocket for later.
Zapping the Kraken?
Yeah. Zap works on Kraken and Lich.
Yeah, I've seen Zap come out on Lich a few times now. I've also never tried it. Usually I'll throw out a Quake just because the weakness, but not always working.
Yeah, Cake is way more reliable than Zap for taking out, or actually not way more. I think only a few percentage points more reliable for taking out Lich than Zap is. Brightheath quickly taking out Carry with just the black belt. Getting a last couple shards. Is that enough to make it through? No, still needs 4 more shards.
Yeah, 4 more shards.
Mechlin is about to get their last 4 shards, taking out Kraken. And Mechlin, what were you going to say?
No, I was just going to say, Fryeteeth having successfully damned the party down in Volcano, definitely going to make for an easier grind here. Looks like we are taking sandwiches.
I think that was basically the only thing that wasn't a terrible ankylose.
Yeah, sandwiches are easy to knock down. They don't do too much scary damage, and it looks like we're getting the jump on them, so... Ooh, they do have Dazzle.
Back on that.
But
sorry.
No, I was just saying they do have Dazzle, so like that could potentially stun us. But as the black belt increases in levels, it's going to have an incredible amount of magic defense, getting 4 magic defense per level, which is far outclassing the rest of the classes.
I think we have a couple of runners now, or at least a few of them, who have all the shards they need, and they are now just grinding to prepare to go into Topher.
Yeah, it looks like Fryeteeth and Shanigan both needing 4. That'll be a Kraken and Tia kill, respectively. Or did Shanigan take out Tia?
I think we just saw that.
I think I might have missed Shanigan taking out Tiamat.
Oh yeah, Shanigan does need 4 more shards.
Yeah, Tia is down on Shanigan's side. Okay, so we are going to need to find 2 more shards plus carry. So it looks like we are heading straight to Volcano for Shanigan. Probably has a few shards left down here, and if not, 2 shards from carry plus then potentially looking at. Oh, we're going to the armory, so it looks like we have not cleared the armory yet. So yeah, 2 shards from there, plus the 2 shards from carry. We'll put Shanigan at full go mode. Rubes, however, at full go mode. and Mechlin as well, both heading into Temple of Fiends. How was I the first one into Temple of Fiends?
Yeah, you were quite behind for quite a while, but I think you had a more thorough shard pickups, and you got all the shards rather quickly, and you caught up. I couldn't tell you exactly where the time save was, though. Maybe the lack of grind?
Yeah, I don't know. But, Lich 2 coming out on Rubes' side, throwing out that turn 1 nuke.
It's the iconic nuke.
Yeah, it's a 75% chance on round 1 to cast nuke. 25% chance to punch. We're really hoping for that 25% chance. But we do get our life casters through. So that is always a plus. Nuke also dealing massive damage to Mechlin, taking out the Black Mage, but again, having Lifecaster still up, being able to make it through.
And Rubes now. Harry 2 taking out the red mage, I think I saw on Rubes' side. Harry is quite strong in these flags with the scaling on strength.
Yeah, Carry is definitely scary.
Yeah, also taking out the white mage on Mechlin's side, which I think is the only life caster you have.
I want to say I didn't have life 1 spell, and I used my only life 2 spell, so...
And going into Kraken, we are seeing lots of defense on Rubes' side. I saw a lock and a power bonk on Mechlin's side and a temper. So we are going with the defensive strategy. Oh. Mechlin, did you just reset out?
I think Kraken did some nasty stuff and was like, you know what? Let's retry this.
Yeah, no speed and power tonight.
Yeah, not having the white mage. I think at this point I was panicking and not sure what to do. So I was potentially taking a grind here. Chain again. Life 2 was level 8 at Lefane. Probably why it wasn't seen. And life landed at level 7 as well. Also at Onrak, I believe.
Rubes taking down Kraken, finishing him off with the Zeus Gauntlet.
Yeah, Rubes pulling up into Tier 2. Fryteeth booking his way down to Kraken, having completed his grind. And Chanigan hunting around for some spells, putting on the newly promoted Black Knight, and also maybe picking up a few spells that we didn't pick up earlier on our other 2 mages for some safety.
Rubes taking on Tiamat, which with a vanilla spell list is quite a dangerous spellcaster. Throws out a Bane, but the Bane does not hit anyone. You continue to buff up the Knight. And that time it was a melee attack, no spell, which is probably preferable. And the X-Cal does quite a bit. Other characters helping out too with their caster items. Which it's not much, but it could save a turn or two.
Yeah, chip damage is worth it at this point. I think trying to get through these fiends as best as we can. Tia being awfully dodgy. That X-Cal only doing one hit for a low amount of damage. Definitely going to have to throw out some Lock 2s, which we just seen being cast. Should hopefully help out doing some more hits and damage to Tia too. Still only 2 hits. Oh, there's 3 hits, so slowly getting better. That is one thing to note with the increased scaling as we progress through the tournament. Tiamat and Kraken specifically are a lot harder to hit without lock or lock 2, having a high evasive chaos as well. So fast, almost a necessity. Lock, almost a necessity. Or, in Fryteeth's case, just coming in with a very strong black belt, level 42, and just stomping through the whole place as we see Fryteeth entering Temple of Fiends.
I think Chanigan also entered Temple of Fiends a little bit ago. So we are now seeing all 4 runners in Topher. And Rube's about to take on Chaos.
Immediately throwing out...
Opening with...
Oh, yeah, go ahead.
Oh, yeah. Throwing out a couple of defense item spells, get the evade up, and also a lock 2. We don't want to be missing Kraken, so it's good to get that early. And now all 3 characters have gotten at least some form of ruse. And I think we are now power bonking the Knight up. And the mages also both casting ruse on themselves. Now we're switching to buffing up the Knight and also casting more locks on Chaos.
Yeah, more lock 2s. We definitely want to be able to make sure we can hit this Chaos whenever we do finally decide to swing.
Mechlin just took out Kraken. Meanwhile, Chanigan and Fryteeth just got to Kraken. So if Rubes does not make it this time, our other runners are right behind him.
So a bit of equipment jiggling there with Chanigan, having the X-Cal equipped to the Knight and then putting the Masa on that Black Belt. Black Belt is at a decent level for him, being able to do some moderate damage to the Fiends with that Masa.
I think I saw slow 2 miss for Rubes, also targeting the White Mage, I believe, which is good. And there's the cure for resetting all of the damage progress.
That's okay.
Fortunately, I think that swing was more of a test swing than anything.
Yeah, we wanted to see how much damage we could do. Potentially hoping that the Cure 4 is just never going to come. But also, you know, knowing that Cure 4 is on deck.
Yeah. But I saw the Red Mage send out a Brack, hoping for a 3 in 256 chance, I believe. And throwing out another one. It would be really nice, but it's probably not going to happen. Swirl comes and takes out the White Mage, almost downs the Red Mage. And Chaos casts fast, making it to almost the end of his spell list. Next up is Nuke. Meanwhile, Fryteeth is now taking on Chaos and starting to buff up with a wall on the White Mage. Nuke takes out almost all of Rubes' party, but Rubes' Knight does take out Chaos with 43 health left. GG's.
GG's to Rubes. With the official time of 1:08:06.
Fryteeth with a white samurai swinging the Masa, while the black belt is a big punch train doing quite a bit of damage. The Cure 4 has already come, so there is no need to worry about that. Mechlin also making it to Chaos, who looks beautiful with the palette swap. Fryteeth has now defeated Chaos. The White Mage did not make it, but Fryteeth did, and has gotten second place.
Yeah, where's the screen?
There we go.
I've lost the window on my side. There we go.
Mechlin power bonking the fighter and also rusing the White Mage. Getting them all buffed up and ready for when the Cure 4 comes. And the alt chaos music is great. Hit for 600 damage. And another one for 600 damage. Slow 2 lands. I didn't see whether it was the knight or the mage. I think it did not land on the knight. It must have been the mage.
Yep,
because we are still doing
mage.
600 damage and now 700 damage. 6 hits. Whirl comes out. Chaos cast Cure 4. Oh no. But it shouldn't be a huge problem. Meanwhile, Chanigan just took out Tiamat and is about to go and take on Chaos. Isu not doing much to the Knight or the White Mage. Both resisting basically everything at this point. Via Ribbon or Wall, I wasn't paying too close attention. And Mechlin defeats Chaos, getting a 3rd place time. Chanigan rearranging the party members and about to go up against Chaos. Casting Wall and Fast. And also, it appears that the Black Belt is just a shield at this point, casting Ruse and Wall on it, while the fighter gets tempered and power bonked up. And the White Mage gets taken out after throwing out a couple walls. Continuing to buff up. Lightning 3, Chaos is tearing through the spell list. Do we see a slow 2 here? No, Chaos swings and misses, going for that black belt. Chanigan throws out a lock 2, which is good. We want to lower evasion for when the knight is done power bonking. And switching back to tempers. And slow 2 misses. So we are now just waiting for the Cure 4, but instead we get an Inferno. And as soon as the Cure 4 lands, we are swinging. And as soon as the Cure 4 comes, Chaos will fall quickly. With how much the Knight has been buffed up now. And there is the Cure 4.
Yeah, that's the green light to go. Start swinging away. You've buffed up quite a bit. 8 hits for 1167. That's a huge, huge bit of damage. Another 8 hits for 1167. Oh, for a second I thought we were in a crit loop. Somehow.
And Chanigan terminates Chaos.
Yeah, GG's to all runners. That was a brutal seed.
And Chanigan, if you want, you may come and join us in the broadcast booth for an interview.
I saw Fry Teeth was in chat as well.
And Chanigan declined the interview. Although, Mecklin, you also ran the seed, so I can interview you in the meanwhile.
It sucked. That's all. That's all I have to say.
I think that is kind of all there is to say. What point did you make the decision to switch from the fighter and black belt to just the black, or just the fighter though?
Immediately.
I didn't see how quickly you downed it.
If you looked at my naming scheme for my party, you could see from the get-go I was getting rid of that black belt. I named it X Black Belt X, whereas the rest of my party was named just the 2 initials of the class. So I don't like black belt in these flags personally. So,
and the black belt is a little bit underwhelming in these flags.
Yeah, Chanigan saying it best. TLDR, that seed, it sucked. That's pretty much it. So, but we've made it through. Rubes, Frytooth, Chanigan, and myself will all be moving on to the round of 8 last chance qualifier. Still have a few more races left to go for round of 8. We have coming up tonight at 9 p.m. we have Spellzap versus Solaris, and then tomorrow morning at 10:30. That's at 9 p.m. tonight at RPG Limit Break, and then tomorrow morning also on Speed Gaming at 10:30 a.m. we have Phoenix versus Fellison Game 3. I'm sorry, that is a Game 3. And then at 9 p.m. tomorrow night, we have Spellzap versus Solaris, also on RPG Limit Break. So these 2 series will close out the round of 8, and then we'll be moving on to quarterfinals. Round of 8, last chance qualifier, we'll have these 4 runners on screen, plus the 4 that did not make it through to the quarterfinals. Will be competing, and then the top 4 from those 8 will be reseeded into the opposite side of the bracket, where Seed 1 will take on Seed 4, and then Seed 2 will take on Seed 3 of the last chance qualifier. And then they will move on to their own side of the bracket, where the people in the winners, quote-unquote winners bracket, will come up through the same side of their own bracket, quarterfinals, semifinals, and then when we get to the finals, the winner of the last chance qualifier reseed will face on the winner of the winners bracket for the grand finals. So tune in for more racing. But
the most epic races are yet to come. And as Chanigan says in chat, it's going to be spicy.
It is indeed going to be spicy.
But yeah, have a great
Yeah, I was going to say, I have nothing further, so if you have anything you want to say, have at it.
Yeah, have a great day, everyone. If you liked this, you can hop over to our Discord and get the @spectator role to be pinged whenever a race comes. There aren't that many races left in the winter tournament, so you won't be pinged too much, and each race is going to be great. Have a great day, everyone.